Rivers flow all through golden dreams in the hills where treasures gleam. Hand in shovel, steady hand, searching for a promised land. Under starlit skies we roam, finding peace our hearts find home.
Tuesday night, let's gather around. Friends and fam, the vibes are clear. With great guests, the stories to tell. A treasure of laughs we know so well. Hangout Live, where we all thrive. Camaraderie shines and dreams come alive. Flash fam strong, we're digging the gold. Together we sparkle and stories unfold. So join the stream, the time is right. It's Tuesday night, so let's gather around. Tuesday night, Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night, let's gather round. Flashing a pan is the place we found. Golden treasure, stories to share. Flash bands here, good vibes are in the air. Tuesday night, Hangout Live. Digging for dreams till the night is done. Join the crew while the treasure thrives. It's Tuesday night, Hangout Live. So grab your pan and bring your cheer. Flash fans call and the gang's all here. Tuesday night, we're going strong. Come join the stream where you belong.
Tuesday night, let's gather around. Flashing pans, the place we found. Golden treasure, source to share. The flash fam's here, good vibes are in the air. Tuesday night, hang out live, dig it, dreams of the night is up. Join the crew in the treasure thrives. Tuesday night, hang out live. So grab your pan and bring your cheer. Flash fam's calling, the gang's all here. Tuesday night, hang out live, where we're going strong. Join the stream where you belong. Tuesday night, let's get around. Flash sheet the place, the place we found. Don't let change, stories to chill. Flash time, turn the cards right there. Tuesday night, hang out live. 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 Join that crew with treasure prize. It's Tuesday night, hang out live. So back up and bring your cheer. Flash from Tony and Joel. Tuesday night, hang out live. Tuesday night, hang out live. Tuesday night, hang out live. It's Tuesday night, let's gather round. Flashing your pan is the place we found. Golden treasure, stories to share. The flash bands here, good vibes are in the air. Tuesday night, hang out live. Dig for dreams till the night is done. Join the crew where the treasure prize. It's Tuesday night, hang out live. So grab your pan and bring your cheer. Flash bands calling, the gang's all here. Tuesday night, hang out live. We're going strong. Go join the stream where you belong.
Let's gather around. Friends outside, the vibes are clear. With great guests and stories to tell. The treasure lies, we know so bad. Where we all tracks, camaraderie shines. The dreams gone die, just flash burn on. To dig in and go, they step very small. And stories unfold.
It's Tuesday night, gather around. Friends and family, good vibes all around. Bring gifts, stories to tell. Treasure of life, we know so well. Tuesday night, where we all thrive. Glory shines, dreams come alive. Flash fans come, we're digging the gold. Together we spark, the stories unfold. Going to dream, time to grind. Tuesday night, so let's gather around. Tuesday night, hang out live.
Hey, YouTubers and friends, how are all of you doing tonight? Maybe I should have wore a different sweatshirt. Kind of bleeding in everywhere. I'm not talking to you, Mrs. Producer. I'm talking to the Flash family out here. Welcome to another Tuesday night Hangout Live, where I'm having the return visit of my friend Mike from Vendetta Prospecting. If you need some very good pay dirt to help your gold fever during those times of cabin fever during the winter, or during the extreme heat of summer, you can always get those needs filled over at vendettaprospecting.com. Nightbot will be dropping a link for his website here and there throughout the show, along with our friend Melissa Gale, aka Melissa Browning. CD is now out. Why are we? Ask Julie over at Banshee Mining. Gail is a very talented vocalist, musician. He's collaborated with some friends of ours in the community, like Music Man Mark Miller, Mark's Asylum. And I want to thank Vendetta for being one of my longest channel members. Muchas gracias, bien amigo. Along with Brewer, another brother of mine, Jeff from Brewer's Prospecting, was showing his 7 months of being a channel member. Thank you to Jeff. Jeff Bro, as I call you, and not Jeff Bro, but hey. So there'll be some. Nightbot will be dropping some of a link now and then for Melissa Gale CD. I highly recommend it. I have no way to play it, and I'm not sure if I get a copyright notice or strike if I did anyway. Yeah, bent for 4 months. Yeah. Thank you all. But first, Vendetta, the man, the myth, the legend, that I have to tell you something with before he comes up stage. This guy, Vendetta, I was it the birthday bash? No, I think it was at Candu's Freedom Fest at Cottonwood Trails. And lo and behold, Vendetta shows up along with another friend of ours that I had the privilege of meeting when I was in California for my mom's funeral, Carson Prospecting. They showed up. Even though I was on the river with the real gold, everyone at Freedom Fest, those two showing up made my weekend. And I know and I hope, but I know I will see them again on the river. I know it without a doubt. And thank you, Jeff, for your 7 months. Scott, Bent Fork Prospecting, thank you for your 4 months. Julie, Banshee Mining, wonderful person. Thank you for your 10 months as a channel member. All of you, I greatly appreciate all the channel members. And being a channel member does help me from having mid-roll ads during live streams. It wasn't so bad when StreamYard only cost me $10 a month. Now it's $50 a month. All this stuff isn't free, and I'm sure a lot of you know that out there, so I know I'm preaching to the choir. But hey, one thing more before I bring in Mike. There's a gentleman, Marvin Huff. His first name's my last name, so he has to be a good guy. If you know the Anglo-Saxon and Irish meaning to Marvin. I know why, but I'm not going to say. I'm going to pull a gentleman prospector on you with this. I know why, but much needed. 403 Lone Horse Mining and the Red Dirt Nation had a live stream fundraiser for Marvin Huff and their family last night. And Thursday night, our friend John at Wrench Repair and Prospecting is having another fundraiser for him. I have a small contribution to both. It's I say pay dirt. It's slightly over a quarter gram, but you could get it one of four ways: either raw gold, beginner, intermediate, or advanced panning skills, with extras added. But you have to be over at Wrench's live stream on Thursday to get in on that. So I would encourage everybody in the Flash fam and the Treasure fam to head over there, because we are all connected. Careless, Dirt Clod, how you doing? Curly Bill, DB, nice seeing you. Haven't seen you for a while. So on this note, I want to get to my guest because I haven't visited with him since, I think it's been 2 years now since the Freedom Fest. I saw him and got to meet him on the river. So don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Tuesday Night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live. It's Tuesday night Hangout Live with your host Ed Marvin. Tuesday Night Hangout Live is a Flash in Your Pan production.
Welcome back, Mike.
What's going on, Ed? How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing okay. Was feeling a little under the weather, so I took today and yesterday off. Plus, the weather's been miserable for framing. I did also forgot to bring up two things. My last live stream, my donation raz for the pay dirt and Silver Eagle, I forgot all about the end stream giveaway sticker pack.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll do that tonight at the end. But Mike has a surprise for us. Why don't you talk about it a little while I show what's in the sticker pack?
Yeah, so tonight during the live stream, we will be we'll be hucking two pay dirts for the Tuesday Night Live Flash in the Pan show. So I got two pay dirts here. There's like, I think over a third of a gram in each one. And this is some Turkey Creek pay dirt, and I threw some of the holiday mix. I had like a few ounces of the holiday mix, so I tossed some of that in there. And yeah, we'll be giving that out during the live stream. Ed's gonna handle all that. I'll just send it to whoever gets it. So, and I'm good with international too for sending it out. It doesn't matter who wins.
Got one of your old stickers here in the sticker pack, Mike.
Nice.
If I had more, I'd give out more. But, you know, I have one of each kind of squirreled away for me and me only.
I'll have to send you some then. I got a big old stack right here. I can send you.
Right on. You probably still have my address, don't you?
Oh, I'm sure I do somewhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if not, you know how to get a hold of me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So, however, Ed, and whenever Ed wants to do that, go for it.
I'll tell you this, Mike. It ain't going to be anytime soon, let me tell you, because we need these people to stay around.
That's right. That's right.
Or I'd love for them to stay around, you know.
So when you were saying it's been 2 years since Freedom Fest, I was kind of thinking, because I've been on the live stream. Was it
last Freedom Fest, or was it the one before that?
It was the previous one. So you're right as far as the timeline goes. But I was trying to remember. I was like, maybe it's been a couple years since I've been on Ed's live stream.
Oh, but it's been a while.
Yeah.
It's easy 3 years, I think. I'm sure Mr. Lodak has the tower with the power. I'm sure if I gave him a minute or two, he'd pop up and give me the exact date it was aired. The last time you were on, I'm saying 2 to 4 years.
Yeah, I think you were right. We're right about 3 years, because I had been on the live stream, and then it was a whole season or two before we had met up in Indiana. So I think it's like 3 years. So we'll have to leave that up to Mr. Lodak. No pressure.
Yeah, if you would, no pressure. Yeah. Marvin Huff, good to see you. I
got a lot of folks in here.
Adventures, Kevin, the Canadian Hillbilly, Careless Whispers, Eric, MRE Reviews, and more. Practical Ken, great seeing you.
Lodak says 2 years. Okay.
Troy Johnson, great to see you, Troy. My friend Troy's a hard-working dredger, let me tell you. If it's a Troy Johnson, I think it is. Dorothy, great seeing you. Yeah, it's the Troy I know, fellow Buckeye member, GPA Buckeye member. He has... I don't know. I don't think he still has his claim up in the Caribou of Canada on the Similkameen River, but he's a dredger. He knows what he's doing. He lives here in Ohio, and great guy, great brother.
Right on.
Brother of another mother, another Ohioan in the house. Ohio's representing tonight.
Yes, they are.
Whispers, Ohio Relic Hunter, Troy Johnson, probably maybe even a couple more in there.
I know when I do like the sticker packs, like you were just showing off, there's at least like 2 or 3 Ohio metal detecting or relic hunter or all those assortments, because you've sent me quite a lot in the past, like like during auctions and other stuff like that, and they always make it into like one of those sticker packs even after several years. It's good.
Yeah, and Mr. Paul C, a gentleman that I've got to meet on the river a few times, he's a Ohioan too. I'm glad Ohio's representing. We have Travis in the house. How you doing? 403 Prospector. Good live stream benefit last night. Now, here's a this man right here, Mountain Man, Ken Durstler.
That's pretty
Durstler.
good. I would have butchered that way worse.
I butcher names all the time. It's nothing new here at Tuesday Night Hangout Live. But this gentleman here, he's a moderator and one of the beginning members of a great community over at goldprospectorspace.com, home of Prospectors Radio on Sunday nights at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. But Ken, here's a dredging legend of Idaho and probably beyond. Could teach you a lot about fabricating, dredging techniques, high banking techniques, just an all-around miner in his 80s. Great
Nice.
guy. Thank you for being here, Ken. Means a lot.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I'll have to check that website out. I think I've seen the stream, what you're referencing. Sounds familiar. The radio?
Yeah, Prospectors Radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's a
Moons
lot of
over
folks in the house
Miami.
Outdoor
Good to
Wally's here.
Oh, Wally. Hey, Outdoor Wally and Moons over Miami. Good to see you.
Outdoor Wally did some videos last year out in California, and they were really good to watch. I really enjoyed them. They were getting after it down there in Cali. They were getting after
He's
it.
a worker. He's from New York. He does a lot of prospecting in New York. I think he catch and releases his gold there. I wink wink, say no more. Because I don't think they've got rid of the King's Law yet in New York State. So technically all the gold
Belongs to them, yeah.
belongs to the state, but I'd catch and release. I wink wink, say no more if I
I don't think
was
there's any gold there
prospecting
anyways, you
in
know.
New York.
They wouldn't have to worry about anything like that.
Oh wow, look at this. Practical Ken just gifted 5 memberships. Thank you
Nice.
very much, Ken.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Like that, Troy. Like that, catch and release. What's this? I send it to the state in an email, right?
That's
right?
funny. It's funny.
Yeah, it is. Oh, man. Oh.
American
So
Gold
what's been
Prospectors in the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
hey,
not,
look, another celebrity just walked in my door. We have American Gold Prospector Brian Wilder was in front of the camera on Bering Sea Gold. Now he works behind the camera for Raw Television. And what's great about Gold Prospector Space, Mike, is Mr. Lodak will hold watch parties during the week and Friday nights, and we all sit around with sometimes we have some of the Pomeranke crew in there with us and some from Bering Sea Gold and others. Kayla Johansson has been in there working on wire wrapping jewelry
nice.
while we're sitting watching other people prospect and stuff. And
Right.
sometimes we'll get the inside scoop on the whole thing during these watch parties. But it isn't just that. We watch like opal hunters and other treasure hunting stuff too.
I love
But
watching those hunting things in Australia. It's awesome. I know they're just digging in the wall, but I'm into it, you know. And those things, gram for gram, are super valuable and in good state.
we have Mike Lindsay back with us. Thanks for returning. He's the president of one of the clubs I belong to, way back in the day in Washington State. Bedrock Prospectors out of Puyallup, Washington.
Nice.
Welcome back,
Nice.
Mike. Welcome back.
Yeah, good to be back. Not been out recently prospecting or anything like that with the holidays and all kinds of stuff. But I've been doing some stuff in the backyard, like refining and playing around with all the other stuff that I like to do, make videos of and stuff like that. So,
Well, you've done you've been doing something I'm kind of interested in, but I don't really know an iota how to do it.
sure.
But you kind of grow silver in a solution. Can you explain that a little? And what
Yes.
got you into it?
Well, so I watch a lot of YouTube, or I used to watch it more often, but what got me into it was Street Tips. So he does silver cell refining and he does a lot of gold refining and stuff like that. So I basically studied all that and I do the refining as well. And there is a lot of silver byproduct from the refining process. So in order to recover that silver back, plating it out in a stainless steel bowl in a silver nitrate solution is really the easiest and the best way to get really pure silver. Otherwise, you're usually left with contaminated silver in one way or another from the chemicals you're using.
Okay. So Mr. Lodak just let me know. It was the month after we met was the last time you were on. I believe
okay.
Freedom Fest was in May, right?
No, that was it July? Maybe July? I'd have to look. Maybe it wasn't July. I have a bad memory looking that far back. I bet I could find a picture really
me
quick.
too.
I'll look real quick here. Yeah, so that was May 20th. You're right. May 20th. Yep. Heath was there.
Yeah.
I met Heath there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man, time flies. It does not seem like 2 years ago that all happened, but a lot has happened in between then too.
I asked because Julie is like, July is the nugget hunt.
That's right.
Is it still the last weekend in July that Tim's holding it?
Yeah, I think it's the last Fridays for the last several years.
I'd love to make it. We'll see what happens.
You should.
We'll see what happens. Oh,
I
I'd
highly
love
encourage
to.
you. I highly encourage you.
I'd love to meet Julie on the river, see you and Carson again, and I know Jeff Bro and JP's been out there. JP a couple of times.
Good times.
And shoot,
yeah.
I would talk to Carson and see about flying into John Wayne and heading up with him. You know.
Yeah, I've done that exact thing a couple times.
Well, I'd preferably fly into John Wayne, and I know Carson lives just a little bit to the south of there, and it's in my home county where I grew up, and my best friend lives about 10 minutes. My childhood best friend lives about 10 minutes from John Wayne Airport in Corona Del Mar. So
be a good reason to go down there and then head up north. Go see everyone.
Yeah.
You know?
And
I was actually looking at the Yuba trip for this year, and it is on kind of like a weird holiday. or a weird end of the month. I mean, so it's like I feel like it's like the 24th and 5th. So, yeah, a lot of people already made plans to go up there. I planning on going up there. It's gonna be a good time as always.
Yeah, I would probably have to pull a Jeff Bro and a Scott Sharp and pick up a hammock that I could just swing around a couple of trees and hope no bears come and eat me. Yeah.
There are definitely bears. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah, didn't I thought I heard you and JP talking about a close encounter with old Yogi up on the
Yeah,
Ute.
JP wanted to hug a bear that night. He really
Was
did.
that the night of the Uber Uber?
Yes, I believe so. I think it was a weekend. It might have not been that exact night. But it was a good time. It was a great time. It was a great time. And seeing everyone up there, Banshee Mining's doing a huge thing. Because there's always like a giveaway, a big giveaway for everyone that was at the hunt that Tim does. Hands out like a bunch of different pieces of paper or something like that. And Banshee Mining's doing, she's gathering gold to get an ounce bottle of pay dirt, a 1 ounce bottle to give away at the nugget hunt. So
nice.
Really cool stuff. Besides all that, I mean, it's just an amazing place. Can't speak enough about it.
I've heard a lot about it through Tim himself when I was out there with with a few of the guys a few years ago. And I know for a while Top Cat was a part of it, and Two Toes and Smith's Gold will be there, along with the AU twins have been there the last couple of years, and
Mayhem
some other
Prospecting
guys
is probably
like
gonna go. Damon from
West Coast
Gold,
Ferris,
yeah. I mean, there's so many people. It's insane.
Mountain Matt,
yeah,
I believe goes, and a few others. It's a huge showing, actually.
Oh yeah.
What I see, I've only kind of lived it vicariously through your videos and Banshee's videos, and the 2 years that beautiful creature Julie Banshee Mining has sent me pay dirt from the North Yuba's nugget hunt, which thank you, love you, Julie.
Thomas Pennywade's here. He's been there before. I met him there before. Good guy.
Lucky Ducky.
There's a lot of people. So many people. Yeah. Gino from Reno. Yeah.
Another great guy, Gino from Reno. I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and
nice guy.
This guy, he's not quite a Ohioan. He's a Indiananer. But
Indianite? I don't know.
Thomas, he's a great guy. He's another dredging machine right there. Great guy. And he's the state director for the GPAA here in Indiana, or next door in Indiana. And we need to congratulate this girl. I believe she's the new state director for the GPAA of California.
That's huge.
That's awesome. Could be wrong, but I know
you're right.
I know it's because Kevin Hoagland was talking about it when him and Dominic were on. So
I do believe you're right. Yep. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I was super stoked to hear that for Julie. I mean, that she's done so much, and it kind of just her passion's really there, and she's always trying to better the gold community in every way possible. Spend a lot of time, a lot of resources, just kind of telling people about gold prospecting, educating them, going out. It's been pretty cool to watch Julie grow. Like, outside of YouTube, just with the gold itself, prospecting, claims, equipment, it's pretty cool. She's I've had the pleasure of meeting her a few times. She's a very amazing person. So, and to see her go up and down the hill that wrecked, myself and some others, and really like chase after it and give it everything, even if she's like hurting and stuff like that, she's a charger. Awesome.
Well, and she was in a terrible accident, and in many ways, I understand that gold prospecting has been very therapeutic for her, like it is with so many in the community. It's very therapeutic for those with post-traumatic stress disorder, and physical therapy for those like Julie and others, and it's a good workout. Like Jeff Williams says, you're a prospector who needs a gym, and I get a double dose because I prospect and I'm in construction. So with those two traits,
yeah,
I don't need no flipping gym, that's for sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of benefits, in getting out there. I mean, just being in nature itself, even if you weren't prospecting or anything like that, it is very, very therapeutic. And then to have a good time and, using your body and being physical, and you get a little bit of shiny in your pan at the end of the day. I mean, it's amazing, so you're right on with all the benefits for sure.
Annie and Brian, welcome from Bear Prospecting. Hobo Rob.
Nice. That is something that's super difficult if you're talking about sniping, and I've made a few videos sniping. There's not much sniping going on here in Arizona, but whenever I get a chance to in California, I am taking that opportunity. But that is, some of the guys that do the sniping and filming underwater, like Tazzies and those guys, I love watching their videos because it is not easy. It adds so much pressure and extra work to try to do the underwater filming, and especially when you're on your own. It's really cool to see people pull gold out of the river underwater live, like doing it's awesome. I love that.
Oh, look at Banshee gifting out 5 memberships.
Nice.
Thank you very much, Julie. Hey, Shane, how you doing, Ohio River History? Good to see you. Shiny equals dopamine equals smiley face. Very true, Scott. Very true. You know what? And even when I don't have very many days I get skunked, but I do count every little stinking speck. I mean, micro speck. Oh, hey, I got 1 speck. I didn't get skunked.
I didn't get skunked.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
But just being out there in nature, mostly like when I'm not running an engine for my pump to run a high banker or dredge, even then it's great. But if you get back to the basics with just a pan, a shovel, classifier, maybe a sluice, just out there listening to the water, just water and the sounds of the birds, and maybe a glimpse at a deer or something, or a bald eagle or something. It's just like it warms the heart and refreshes the mind, and just get back in touch. Georgina, good to see you.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree
Uh,
with you more on that. That's right on the.
Gail, good evening, Flash in your pan, and Vendetta, great seeing you. Let me guess, Travis, you're low on watch hours because I know you have the members or I know you have the sub count, but YouTube's always changing stuff too. I see a very good friend of mine in the house, Otis Ferris. Good to see you. Give that lovely wife of yours a hug from Flash. And a man I was talking about a little bit ago, Music Man Mark Miller, Mark's Asylum. Now, before we get back to you, I need to brag on our friend Julie a little. Do you
Let's
mind,
do it a
Mike?
little more. Let's keep doing it. Yeah,
Okay.
she deserves it.
Now, what I really love about Julie is when she goes to a gold show, she isn't just promoting Banshee mining. She's promoting Vendetta prospecting, JP's Lawns and More, Brewers Prospecting, myself, Flash in Your Pan, and other channels throughout the Treasure Hand Fam Hand. Uh, she can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's pretty much just the prospecting finger of the hand. But she's out there doing something she don't have to do for the benefit of all of us on YouTube. And I remember Toledo Jess asking Kevin Hoagland a few years ago, this was like 4 or 5 years ago during a show, what do you think about prospecting YouTube channels? And this isn't verbatim, so, but it's really close. He likes, well, they need to get in the river more and get away from YouTube and stuff. I don't know if Kevin really didn't understand Jesse's question, because I took it about we're sharing our passion for the outdoors and prospecting and stuff, and what was Kevin's take on it. Because we all know Kevin has several channels and on the TV spectrum of prospecting and stuff. But at least the last time he's been on with Dominic and himself before, he was given some positive input to how YouTubers in the prospecting sphere has brought more people into the lifestyle of gold prospecting and treasure hunting.
Yeah, you look now, they have more gold prospecting, backyard prospecting, like all kinds of videos like that on Discovery Channel now, showing it to a lot more people. It's, they used to have like the gold rush and stuff like that, which is very popular, but now it's like, metal detecting in your backyard or checking for gold in the creek in your backyard. And, Freddie and all them have shows too. And I watched a show. I don't remember if it was on Prime or Netflix, but it was turquoise hunters. And I think they were in, I want to say it was Utah or something, maybe Nevada.
I believe the turquoise hunters might be British Columbia. Oh no, turquoise. I'm thinking jade. Because there's
the
also
Jade
like
Hunters is
a
up there.
jade hunters that's out.
Yeah, I love watching that. It's great.
Now
They're cutting these
turquoise
huge.
no, like not Well, you're more towards like Apache Junction and stuff, aren't you?
Yeah. So the turquoise is like over, north,
That's
but
up like
it's in that region.
Kingman in that
Yes,
area, isn't it?
correct. I think there's some out by what is that? I can't Portside too, I think. And a lot more uh like copper oxides and stuff like that. Which turquoise is, but I think it's not like gemmy kind of stuff. It's like chrysocolla and those kinds of things, malachite showings versus actual
Okay.
like hard turquoise.
So probably like the Tombstone and Bisbee area would be a pretty good place to look for turquoise too, since that's a very rich copper area.
I'd imagine so, yeah. But yeah, I mean,
Interesting.
it's kind of cool to see how it's gotten a lot more popular, and I definitely think there's some sort of correlation with all of our channels cumulatively. Not the size of Discovery Channel and stuff like that, but it's just getting out there more. More people are getting exposed to it. Even at like we go to the children's museums and the natural history museums, they all got painting stations now, and like it's cool because I'll do that with my kids, and then I see all these younger kids trying to do it too. And I remember as a kid going to Knott's Berry Farm and doing that, so it's always kind of been on the radar for me, but it's like everywhere now, which is kind of cool to see.
Looks like we have a Dylan raid here. Miller Prospecting. It was great meeting Dylan that weekend too. Yeah, Dylan and his boy, if I remember right.
Yep.
I copied something from Dylan. Remember that header thing he made for his nugget bucket?
Yes.
I copied him, but I put my twist on it. And hope you don't mind, Dylan, but I did.
Hobo Rob's got a great point. He said, I think the lockdown helped get more channels out there too, more people out
Yeah,
prospecting too, and I wholeheartedly agree with that as well.
I agree with that. SCP.
Kirk with the super chat.
Thank you, Kurt. I'll say it instead of putting my thing out there. Oh yeah, super chat. To Secret Creek Prospecting, our friend Kirk. I had the privilege of meeting him at Audis Ferris's house back when my mom passed away. I had to go back to Washington for a day. Tomcat Josh, thank you. I have to put a big old heart on that. He's probably saying, about time Ed's wearing my sweatshirt. It's cold down in the lower part of my house. All the heat's upstairs in our bedrooms. Oh, yeah. Troy. Oh, I had something made for new members, but I don't know if I can find it. It just said, oh yeah, new member, or something like
nice.
that. I forget. I see my super chat one, but I don't see my member one. Thank you.
I do kind of.
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
Oh, I was gonna say I
No,
kind of do agree a little bit though, and it's more towards myself with what that gentleman said about YouTube initially, even though if it misunderstood it. I do think need to go out more, and I know there's a lot more people that are getting out there and doing it a lot more than me. But I that drive to get out there and go out digging, prospecting, exploring, and all these things, rock counting, all of it. It's always there too. It's just it's always calling you. So I definitely do agree. Need to get out there more, and it's just better for you as a person overall. I do agree with that.
think a lot of people kind of put it in social distancing too, you know, and they had a lot more time because of forced, you know,
Either
we
working from
were
home or
right.
right.
I was one of those essential workers. I never stopped working.
Same
I
here.
just kept going through.
Yep.
But to me, I don't agree with that because all work is essential work. Everybody was an essential worker, but the
The powers
the
that be will.
the polycraps, you know, the politicians, you know.
Yeah.
But I think he has a very good point because it made a lot of channels thrive, and it got more people out in creation, out on with Mother Nature, and getting into prospecting with their social distancing. Even some states got really carried away with it.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, I've heard some horror stories about the state of my birth, you know, where they're like, you need to go home. But there's no one here except you and me, Gestapo. Oh, we don't
Yeah. You need
care.
to be in your house. Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Got a bunch of
Uh,
people showing up in here too. There's a lot.
I, well, we had that Miller prospecting raid, our friend Dylan,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
that's right.
see some more of your friends. You were hanging out with this guy all the time. Our friend A3 Sky Warrior, Richard the Rain Man. Um,
Good old Rain Man.
it's
Fancy
good
Nancy
to
and Chris with the K. I got to meet them in Cali. They were good people. Benzo Gold's
didn't
here.
know the best Arizona seller would be here tonight. What? To Vendetta Prospecting from our man Miller Prospecting. Dylan, great to have you in the live stream here. Our friend Benzo. Thank you, Benzo Bro.
Makes
Srip
killer hot sauce, by the
63.
way.
You know what? He sent me some toothpicks. MJ, he sent me some toothpicks that I was going to do a challenge with Dano and Jesse with. I still have it. I haven't been able to do the challenge. They're sitting there
They're
ready to
good.
be used.
They're good.
I'll,
But I like
I'll
hot
send.
stuff though. So
Well, you're
yeah.
Latino too, aren't you?
My dad was from Spain. My mom, like, side of the family is just all European. So I'm not like, my family's not like Mexican or anything, but definitely Spanish in a sense.
Well, I did say Latino,
It's
so.
true.
Brian, good to see you. Okay. So
But
you're like
I
every
like
other
really hot stuff
American.
most of the time.
You're a Heinz 57.
Yeah, I'm a mixed mutt through and through. I'm just American. That's all I know.
Yeah, I hear you. Who cares about our nationalities or our origins of our ancestors? We are all 100% American.
Yep.
And we all bleed the same, you know, red. And we're all united that way. People need to get past this race bait stuff because we're all initially the same. We're all human beings.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's why I like when people talk about politics and stuff like that too. I don't consider myself one way or another, but all I consider myself is American, and I'm always trying to look out for what's best for the country. Really, like that's how it should be. We're all going to have differences of opinions and views on whatever it may be. But that's what makes it great. We're at the end of the day, like you said, we're all the same in that sense.
Yeah, and you look at the ones doing the race cards. If people would really look at their intentions, they would realize they're the enemy trying to divide and conquer. You know,
Yep.
the Jesse Jacksons and Al Sharptons of the world, and there's guys who are light pigment like me and darker pigment like Mike and stuff that they're on the side of dividing so they can conquer us. If we're unified by being humans, you know, because I don't care what man's color their skin is, they just tan better than I do.
That's right. I'm not going to get a sunburn. That's very true.
Mr. Lodak, the only color that matters is gold. Show us some porn. You know, I didn't even bring it up to you, Mike, and that's my bad. But you are in the business.
I mean, I
Would
can
you
get some
happen
gold
to
out
have
here.
any gold or treasure porn handy?
Yeah. I mean, I got a wall of it behind me. I mean, I've got some specimens here, some gold specimens here.
Oh, here, let me put you up front and center.
So we
you
do
can
these show offs late night, at backstage at JP's bar or Benzo's show. So
Right,
I'm
right.
well rehearsed in the gold porn fixing. So let me grab a couple things I got on hand, I guess here.
Grease Monkey's Mama's Chocolate Cake. Oh man, I'll have to try that sometime, Jeffro. I know one thing, I really like Terry's coffee.
I like me some Ohio honey, Chef V. That's some good stuff. That, some butter, some whiskey. I mean, it's all good. So we can, I mean, I don't know kind of how you like your gold, but if we kind of like
I like my
crystalline.
gold crystalline. I like it flour. I like it chunky. I like it tumbled. I even like Electrum.
Sounds like you don't discriminate with your gold.
No,
I
I'm when
don't
it
know
comes
how
to AU,
anyone
I'm
can.
right.
I mean, come on. Even shiny rocks. I'll take a couple shiny rocks every day.
Oh, I'm a sucker for a pretty rock, you know. And I really think any prospector is, you know.
There's a lot of minerals and specimens that I talked to Carson about this a few times that are way more stunning than gold, and they cut like even like opals and stuff like that, precious minerals that are in crystalline form, and it's just insane, and they bring insane amount of money. So this nugget here, this has got some black sparkles in it. There's a cool little story. This is like a 4.5 gram nugget, something like that, real thin.
Well, tell the story.
So this last year I got to meet up with Mike from the Gold Log, and we went down to Arizona and met up with a guy that's been finding some of the biggest gold in Arizona's history, all within the last few years. And we made a couple videos about it. And yeah, so we got to kind of hang out, talk about gold. Got to the whole bed of my trucks, like the tailgate, had gold nuggets, no joke, like this big around specimens, just the craziest looking stuff. And my whole bed tailgate was just full of gold nuggets this guy had found. Really good guy. I even had the pleasure of going out metal detecting with him and a couple other guys on the claims where this gold has been found. So he actually gave me this nugget as like a token of friendship or whatever you want to call it. He hooked it up. And yeah, I'll save that one forever. No doubt about it. It's just a good memory. This is a little piece I found when I went metal detecting with that group. And I haven't cleaned it off or anything. It's got, hold on, let me throw this little piece back in here. It's got some of the red clay and stuff on it still. Little piece of rock in there. So that was a cool experience last year. I was really lucky to be able to do that. And the gold that we found would just blow you away. So I do a lot of refining and things like that as well here at home. If you I'm sure you probably have seen, a lot of people have seen the refining of this video and making this gold. This is a 1/4 ounce and a 1/10 ounce gold round. I got some golden rock here. This is some Cali stuff. Oh, come on, focus. There we go. And I mean, silver. I like silver, you know, buffalo rounds. Mercury's Rain Man hooked it up with this one time. Really cool. I love space. I mean, I've got big old Lego sets and all kinds of stuff related to space. So I'm a space nut a little bit. We got some gold like this. Gold and silver always be with you. That's from Carson. Really cool. And if we like the fine flower stuff too, I got some of that. This is some gold that I found. I think this is actually Yuba gold. Got a couple vials of that by now. And we were talking about it earlier. We can get back to that too to get a little bit more closure on the silver cell, but we talked about street tips. You know, we've got some of his gold, a gram of his 6 times refined video. So I do not care what state the gold's in. I'll take it. I will take it. This little, okay, this is I think this is a piece from Round Mountain, leaf gold. Gotta be careful with this thing. Come on, camera. Yeah, you can see like the triagonal squares of gold in there, and just insane. And obviously smaller gold and whatnot, stuff like that, but that's not as nice as those big pieces, right? I'll see if it could come through, but this is a Boulder opal. We were talking about opals earlier, and I saw Fancy Nancy drooling over opal. So this is a Boulder opal that I've cut a long time ago, and I just haven't even took it off the Dob stick. So it's beautiful stuff. I love opal a lot. Got some things from Black Opal Direct there. He's a YouTuber. Just amazing stuff. But I got more if we need to see some more. Oh yeah, definitely need to see some more here. These are all opals that I've cut on too. I don't think the camera does them any justice because you really need the light to. You need the light to be right, but you can kind of see some color, but it's so hard to show up on camera. These are all opals that I've cut as well. So, yeah. Do I have any purple gold? Oh, I think you got me there. I think you got me there, MJ. I got a bunch of painted rocks, though, if you need any. I had, speaking of opals, used to have like a cabochon wheel, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. It wasn't a Cab King. It was kind of one that was made by hand, but I had multiple discs, and I used to do it out in the backyard quite a bit. But it's really expensive. It's a really expensive thing to get into, and then to buy the raw materials. And if you're not like reselling them or doing anything like that, and they can get really expensive. So people don't know a whole lot about how the pricing works unless you're very familiar with it. But they can get very expensive. So only pans. It is very hard to make purple gold. You have to like shield the melting environment with, I think, oxygen. I can't remember. It's either oxygen or you pump in some other gas in there so it doesn't. Maybe it. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to make. I watched Now Red try to make purple gold, and that was not. I was like, I have no interest in doing that ever. Yeah, and then magnetic gold. I know a lot about that. Arizona has it, a lot of it. So that's how I find most of my gold is just magnet fishing in the dry rivers. Ohio Relic Hunter. I need a few Uper lights for my collection. Maybe. I think I might have had one or two from Jason over at Flower Gold Wizards, but that was about it. Mr. Lodak might not know. Argon. Okay, A3 Skyward. He was shielding. So you melt like aluminum, gold, and I don't know if there was tin or something like that. I thought it was just aluminum and gold. There might have been one other small metal in there. But you have to shield it with argon so it doesn't oxidize. And while you're melting it, and then when you pour it, you have to. It's just too complicated. No. I'll take some jewelry and make it into gold, like pure gold, though. I can definitely do that. Absolutely. Okay, so we were also talking about the silver cell. A lot of people, like in the comments of those videos that I've made, people that may not know too much about it are asking, they're like, you're just growing silver out of nothing? Like, how are you growing silver? Like, well, basically you have a filter basket and you put impure silver in the basket. You have to run an electrical current through a stainless steel bowl, and a chemical solution is in the bowl. That the electrical circuit that you're creating is dissolving the gold in the silver in the basket, and it's plating back out onto the stainless steel bowl as pure crystal silver. And it's growing how it would because of the electricity and all the other natural things going on with the ion exchanges. It gets complicated, but that's how those crystals are growing in that bowl. So yes, it's growing silver crystal in a bowl using impure silver. So you're taking base metals and copper and other things out of the silver and replating it in pure form. And that's kind of how it works. But I'm probably not the best person at explaining it in full detail. That would be the street tips guy. There's one other person that was kind of like for him that I had seen years and years ago about it. He's basically the crystal silver god. It's like he's a beast with it. Great to learn from. And it's funny too, because even though he's done, pounds and pounds of refining worth of gold and stuff like that, he's still learning, making mistakes and experimenting. And it's pretty cool to see that, because there's sometimes when I like have a question in my mind watching a video and he goes back over, he's like, well, that was a mistake, So it's pretty cool to see. Graveyard prospecting, what's going on? Brad Hayden, what's up? Mr. Lodak, and so you can make bismuth using like Pepto-Bismol or Tums, things like that. I've done that once with my kids, just melting bismuth and then pulling the crystals out. Guy at work did that too. He does that quite a lot with his grandsons. It's pretty fun to watch and see the cubes come out. I've even at work too. Recently, I was melting like 100 pounds of lead with my Devil's Forge and making weights with them. for some fixturing at work. So, you know, and so I've used tons of different skills with, you know, metallurgy and refining and stuff like that at home and at work. It's funny. Bear prospecting, what's going on? What is going on? Yeah, so I saw someone write like reverse electrolysis. So I've also ran the cell backwards, silver cell backwards, and I think I had gone to work after I like set it all up and started it. I came back and the bowl was purple. I think I have a short on it. Maybe it's a full length video. I'm not sure, but I ran the cell backwards and it turned the solution purple. And I was like, because I have to dissolve, you know, several $100s worth of pure silver into the silver nitrate solution to make the electrolyte. And I thought I like ruined it. I didn't know what was going on. And so like there's several $100s in setup. And I was like, well, the only thing I know now to do since I have all the silver in solution is drop it out with copper. And thankfully it wasn't ruined. I don't know if you could technically really ruin it without just dumping it out. You could always get the metals out some way or another. But yeah, I put the copper pipes in. I was like, okay, it's dropping the silver out. And I was all nervous. That was the craziest thing I've ever seen happy with it, because it's run pretty good so far, you know, over the years. He might have Ohio Relic Hunter. He might have. He would have a really bad black stain on his finger if he did, though. Can gold be crystallized in that way? Yes and no. It doesn't grow in the same structure form, but you can grow silver or gold crystal in a very similar way. You know, it's just like how they would do in large scale industrial refining with an electrode and a current and a solution containing those metals. That's basically what they're doing on a large scale at large scale mines, whether it be for copper, you know, you're using float tanks or cyanide or any of these things, making a solution and plating it out with electrolysis to get the pure metals out. Usually gold is a byproduct of a lot of copper refining too. So I treat all my crusty coins with electrolysis. There you go. What is that? Just like salt and water? Is that just salt and water, or is that? I forget how you do that. I've seen it. It was like you could do that with like aluminum foil, salt, and water. I think you can clean your coins like that. I think. Yeah, Brian's definitely got no pants on us. That is funny. I don't know where Ed is though. I think he might. Is he taking a nap? I see him clicking over here. I think he's just lurking. Baking soda. It's baking soda. Okay. Yeah, bear prospecting. I found gold in my black slimes from my copper. So yeah, I mean, it's in the metals. It's definitely in there. And I mean, it always say those things, you know, and they're even in the silver cell, there's slimes that are created from that impure silver that do contain some sort of precious metals, things like that. Whether it's a little bit of gold or other platinum group metals. Yeah, Brian, 2 parts baking soda, 1 part salt, and 2 parts gallon. Okay. Ohio Relic Hunter has it up there. That's kind of cool. I've seen it. I saw it on a YouTube video one time, and then I went and cleaned it a coin or two like that too, and it works pretty good. Ultrasonic cleaners. I have cast silver in the past too, and cleaned it with an ultrasonic cleaner because there was some crud in there. Hobo Rob, it's the Mike Vendetta Tuesday night show. That's funny. Annie Stevens says, thanks to street tips, I don't go out our garage anymore. I made Bear move his it's moving mad science lab out there when he told me he needed to put a new That is awesome. That is awesome. I wish I had a garage because it would probably look just the same. Dream Mats in the house. What's going on? Thanks for the Christmas card. Appreciate it. Cool to see you guys been doing a lot of work. He must be American Gold Prospectors. He must be on a break. Yeah, there's also, I've seen like wooden pencils. We're talking about cleaning coins and stuff like that. I've seen some channels where they like clean these Roman coins with like basically wooden pencils, and it's pretty cool to see them being brought back to life after, being buried. And
I was awake, Jack. I was awake. I do have your winnings, so Jack. I got your silver eagle and your quarter gram of gold here. I just got to be able to get to your house after work so I can drop it off. I work with Jack Frank. He's a great friend of mine and of my channel.
I think Miller Prospecting figured out what was going on with that.
Right. Hey, what can I say? What can I say?
Some things you just got to take a break for.
I was back here drooling in my coffee cup, Dylan, so I had to take care of it. Charles E. Prospecting, welcome. That's a new name in my live chat.
Charles, what's going on?
Looks like David's just starting to get into e-waste stuff.
Yep, that's something you definitely need a lot of volume for, but there's definitely gold to be recovered out of there. Absolutely.
I really need to clean my garage and shop. Oh yeah, super chat. Thank you, Kevin. I think I might actually do what someone suggested in the live stream, Mike. They talked about having the live stream while I'm cleaning my shop and my garage, so I could start doing more in the shed with Ed type stuff like I used to do almost a decade ago, and some more stuff in the shed, but right now it's just too dirty or cluttered. My better half and producer, she calls me a hoarder, and yeah, it's somewhat true.
You have your stuff. You're not hoarding nothing. It's just you got your stuff where it's at. That's okay.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit of hoarding going on here and there, everywhere,
Well, when I was doing like in the shed with Ed stuff, I take stuff from job sites, scraps and stuff, and I can make something out of this, or I can do something with that, and I still do it to a point. I just bring a lot less home.
More selective.
I still have stuff out there. Luke, AAP's Variety Channel, good to see you, brother. But I plan on doing it again, cleaning up stuff. But I might bring the community in with it. I just need to be able to find a good way to repeat a Wi-Fi signal out to my shop, or I might just bury a Ethernet out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to rely on a hotspot and network. And
Ethernet would
if,
get you the most stable connection for sure, no doubt about it.
yeah, and I could do it from my laptop out there with Ethernet. But
Well, at
I
least people could stop in and say what's up, check out what you're doing. I mean, if you're sweeping the floor, I would definitely bag that up. And
all my sweeping, buddy, gets
yeah,
separated. I have a little bucket now with I put it all in. I classify out the cigarette butts and the other
you'd be
junk.
amazed what you're
And
finding.
every time I sweep my shop, how it gets down there, I don't know. But every time I sweep my shop, there's color in it. There's color in it. So I definitely save it, you know.
Good old floor sweeps. Many, many a times I've either given away the floor sweepings or panned it out, and you're like, dude, this is insane. It just goes with the territory, I guess, when you're around it that much.
Right, right. For Mike Pung. Why are you saving them for Mike Pung? Now, I'd like to get into more because I have tons and tons and tons of black sands that I haven't got rid of because I want to eventually roast it, liberate what gold might be covered, and then I'll think about throwing it in my garden.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just do a little mercury roll with it in a tumbler for a little while, get the gold out, clean it up, fire it up in a potato or
Walmart
in a.
has $60, and John used it when he went to Maine, and it worked great. Oh, thanks, Heath.
Nancy says she's been roasting and it's been working. That's
Oh,
right,
nice.
mercury roll.
Yeah, and if you're careful with your mercury, it's fairly safe if you take the proper precautions. Do it in well ventilated or outside. Don't be there huffing over the fumes or nothing.
Yeah.
And if you use your brain while you're working with it, it's quite safe.
Yeah, I had gotten a bag of material from Chef E and those guys up there and got quite a bit of mercury and refined the mercury out and got an extra tenth or something like that out of there. So it's definitely gold that's stuck in there. And when we did the Yuba hunt this year, because we don't just stay at the nugget hunt the whole time, there's different places we're going most of the time. And I found a big old ball of mercury sniping and stained all my gold, but I kind of like how it looks. It reminds me of all the good times, and I haven't cleaned it up, but maybe one day I will. Who knows?
Oh, I have tons of buckets of stuff out in my shed, David. Tons. And while David's in here, I want to thank David and my friends over at prospectorsdream.com. There's a referral link down in the description of all my videos. But if any of you really know me, you know Toledo Jess and I stand behind DreamMat 100%. Everything I own that takes a mat has DreamMat in it. But David Peterson and everyone at the Mat Cave sponsors a monthly Adventure Sleuth giveaway. Thank you for that, David. And Tim, I can't forget his brother. Willow Creek Gold is trapped in the big black sand. It's incredible how much gold you get after roasting. I knew some old timers up in Washington State that always roasted their black sand and stuff. Hold on one second. Good night, honey. Love you. I'm saying good night to my granddaughter. The old timers would brush mercury over copper plates in their sluice boxes. It was more efficient method for beach mining. Yeah, and the Chinese used to do that too. And that's why in gold rich areas where there is no cinnabar deposits, because yes, mercury can be found naturally because it will bleed from cinnabar deposits under the right conditions. We have Hippie Explorer in the house. Hey, see what I'm wearing, Wes? I'd love to run into Wes and Thomas someday on the river. I need to get up to New England again and meet up with my friend Heath Doty.
Summers look great up there.
Oh,
never been.
It's beautiful, Mike. It's beautiful. And I've done actually very well for what little time I worked when I was up in Vermont. I was don't tell the powers to be in Vermont, but I was sluicing in a brook. But I did 1.4 grams in about 4 hours.
Wow. That's good.
Considering where I live now, that's really good. You know.
No, that is great. Talking about mercury and cinnabar, yeah. I've been told by an old prospector refiner that I don't think's in here right now, but he may be. But certain areas of the mines in northern Arizona, when it was really hot and they had gotten a strike on some cinnabar and stuff like that, like it would actually come right out of the walls, which is crazy.
Yeah, and you know, and there's areas where like some of the rivers in California, Washington, and Oregon have a natural occurrence of arsenic because arsenic's natural, and people, you know, mostly our enemies in the prospecting community. Yes, we have enemies. Sierra Club,
I was just gonna say Sierra Club,
Trout Unlimited, and others. You know, they'll use pictures of salmon spawning dead on the river and say it was done because of dredging,
mining, right?
Or they'll blame all the mercury in the waterways on not only the old timers, Chinese and old timers from 100+ years ago. They'll blame it on miners now. when
Right.
I don't know any modern miner that uses mercury outside of a controlled conditions. It's not
Yeah.
done.
No.
It's not done.
Yeah, they're not making sluices out of copper lined with mercury anymore. The impact mills aren't doing any of that. It's just
Yeah, they would use copper gold pans with a coat of mercury on it to capture the fines. They'd use it in their long toms. They'd use it in their sluice boxes, and they'd use it on the slick plate of the stamp mills and stuff too. They'd cover up that copper plate with
yep.
mercury to catch the microscopic fine gold and stuff. It's just so much has been way blown out of proportion. Like they'd really beat to death the term hydraulic mining
Yes.
to help get the ban in California, Oregon, Washington, and may come to a state near you,
Right.
where they're taking faulty science and deliberately misinforming the
They're framing it
unknowing
in their yeah,
population.
absolutely.
Where there's been videos done by a biologist who worked for the EPA, I believe it was, who was actually a dredger. And
Mm-hmm.
he talked more on the benefits of suction dredging for salmon habitat and stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And I think they drove him totally under the table, you
Hmm.
know. Um,
Yeah. Didn't give them a platform to speak on and represent the truth of those types of things, because it's not going to help their cause at all. I've never seen more fish while I'm out on the river than when you open up a piece of that bedrock or move a big boulder that's got all kinds of stuff trapped under it. And their fish are right there eating it all. So it's only improving their habitat. It's only making bigger pools for them to spawn in or do it. Yeah, exactly. So
well, what we look for as dredgers or even running a high banker on a gravel bar, we're not looking for loose gravels. We're
right.
looking for hard, compacted, almost conglomerate type gravels
Mm-hmm.
because we know it hasn't been touched for a long time. And we loosen up those gravels so the salmon can easier to make nests for their reeds. And like where I live in Miller and others, like I'll use the example of the Swank West lease here in Ohio. We fondly call it the jewel of the East Coast, even though I haven't been there yet. But Brian and Annie's home lease is the Spriggs lease on the Scioto River in southern Ohio, which I'm going to be there this coming spring. There's some stuff in the works with bear prospecting and stuff
Nice.
to be announced later. But we share our lease. The Buckeye chapter allows the Mohican Fly Fisher Association to come onto our lease to fly fish. And every one of the fly fishermen I talk to love fishing our stretch of river of the Clear Fork. One, a lot of us, we leave our dredge holes so trout, they need cool, clean water to survive. Unlike rock bass and some other stuff you'll find in warmer water rivers. So our dredge holes allow them areas to duck into where water stays colder during the hot summer months, during our dog days. And we do loosen up the gravel so it's easier for other fish to spawn. It's You're right, Dylan, definitely right.
I've met a lot of prospectors or miners uh, that first were fishermen, and then they either saw someone dig in where they usually fish, or they heard about it from a fisherman buddy or something. But they're always out on those rivers, and they go to some places where maybe not so many people have been to try to find a better source of fish, and then they find amazing spots to go find gold in too.
Actually,
Several.
I knew an old timer that would take his fishing pole with him every time he prospected. And where he caught a fish, he would sample.
Hmm.
Because fish like hanging out in slack spots in the current,
Sure.
And even though a dropout zone when the river's low or at normal stage isn't necessarily a dropout zone during flood stage. That's why I
Right.
encourage every novice prospector to look at your area of prospecting during all stages. Justin talked about that. The Alaskan gold hunter talked about that before. Get out to your area, to your claim, if it's on a river, and look at it during all stages. High flood, raging floods, down to normal and drier times, to see how the river reacts during all those stages.
Sure. Sure. The Canadian hillbilly says dredgers pull up so much lead out of the river they do more good than bad. Yep.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I know we're preaching to the choir,
Yeah, we are. Yeah, for sure. Well, I think it's
but
even you were speaking of, high banking and stuff like that, and we've got like the Canadian hillbilly. There's a lot of rules about how you have to recirculate up onto a bar. It's got to filter through, and or like even like Dan Hurd, he's running a high banker on the Fraser River, and they can't discharge dirt into a dirt filled river. It's there's just a lot of stuff it's petty. It's not necessary. There's not people out there destroying things. Even here in Arizona at club claims or any even your private claim, if it's on BLM land and they like let's say someone from the Sierra Club comes out there and they see these big old holes and they are trying to protect these areas from a random cow falling into a hole, like and then it goes to court for it. It just uses up so much insane resources for such a little thing.
but know what's funny? The same people now in California, the same people that helped get it banned are now getting reclamation dredge permits to clean out heavy metals out of the river, and they get to keep the gold as a byproduct of that. It's I just see corruption at high levels
Yeah.
with that stuff. Just the show has took a totally different turn than what I was expecting for tonight, Mike.
That's okay. I mean, like you said, we are definitely like preaching to the choir, but it needs to be heard, and definitely needs to be talked about. But
And now I know the guys well now, right? Yeah, BC has some. They can't even run a sluice in their rivers in British Columbia.
Yeah.
Here's something from my very good friend from Washington, now is in California, Victor Manzo, Labradary Vixter. Ed, remember when we sampled moss on the lower Skagit and found gold on top of the rocks due to high water? Yes, sir. Sampling moss is a great way to first start prospecting. And one, it tells you right away if there's gold in the area. Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and you think those rivers too during high flood state and when the river's really raging after all the snow melts and stuff like that, that water's 20 feet higher than where you're at, you know? So going in those periods of high flood or medium water or the, you know, end of summer when it's the lowest, things like that, you're only going to see more opportunities and see how the river's actually acting when you know, maybe haven't before. And so it'll give away a lot to try to help guide you to those areas you should be looking for, you know, low pressure zones, dropout zones, whether there's a, you know, a giant boulder and seeing how that's all working, the water's working behind it, you know, those kinds of things.
Actually, Scotland has a pretty rich gold mining history. Are you digging it? So does all of Great Britain. The Romans used to hydraulic mine back when they controlled the British Isles. It's crazy. As the year pass, I think the tyrants will make all rivers hands and pans. I think if they have their way, they will. If you look at old mining district maps, you'll notice that a lot of those old districts, the majority are now in national monuments, wilderness areas, national parks, which are all no, they're all closed to mineral entry. You can't even prospect on them legally. So they know. They know. It's like the secret caves in the Grand Canyon. You know, they know.
Yeah, they have all the reports they're holding on to, maybe not disclosing, you know, so all the historical stuff, it's well researched.
There you go, Keith.
So hopefully this year, so I did get to go out a few times last year, met up with a bunch of people a couple times, but I think this year I'll probably make a couple different treks to a couple different states if everything works out right. Definitely planning on going back to California at least twice, maybe more. I may be going more north of Arizona, go to Idaho maybe, or a couple other places and meet up with some folks and do some mining. And I'm hoping to get out here in the near future to do some dry washing as long as the rains hold off. It's hard to find time for myself to actually spend that much time out there, you know, versus 3 or 4 hours, because we don't have any running water right now. And we might, if it doesn't get some good snow or a really cold snap with a lot of moisture, we're not going to have any running streams during the springtime, which we have the last couple of years. So that's like enabled me to go out sluicing and do some high banking. Heck, I mean, I used to have a dredge, and yeah, I wouldn't have any use for it for like the last 3 or 4 years. What's going on, Culver? So it definitely changes with the seasons. But I have places kind of marked out here in Arizona that I really want to explore. And even if I just get to do some research, going hiking out there and maybe take the drone up and try to fly in some old mines and things like that, I definitely like doing some mine exploring. I've done that a few times, at least by now. And you're talking about like arsenic and cinnabar, and I had gone down to a silver mine down in southern Arizona a couple times and got to check those places out. So all about those places. It's just place and time. Hopefully get to meet up with the gold log again this year. Do something. We always have stuff come on in the backstage planning area. So hopefully
I watched the video where he interviewed you on the Yuba during the Yuba outing.
Yeah.
That was a good interview, by the way. Now I might text you sometime and have you be a liaison for for me to get him on the show.
Yeah, I
Because
think we
I
could
thought
definitely make
about
it
it.
happen.
I just have a thing about bugging people.
Sure.
I know the squeaky wheel gets the grease, right? But I don't like spamming, so
Sure.
like I only share my live stream to groups that I know it's perfectly okay with on Facebook. And I'll send one message or one email, and if they go, no, not at this time, okay, fine. Let me know when and leave it
Sure.
at that. If I never hear back from them, fine, cool. Kind of rude you didn't at least reply and say no thanks, but okay. You'll never hear from me again.
I can be bad about that sometimes. Like I read a text message from a friend of mine. I have a good buddy, Kyle, and he lives up in Payson. I've known him for a long time. We've seen our kids grow up together and stuff like that. And he'll text me and I'll read it while I'm at work, and then I'll go back to what I'm doing. And then like 3-4 days later, I'm like, dang it, I forgot to text you back. Or I'll write a text out. I forgot to hit send, just funny
I'm
stuff
just
like
as
that.
guilty. You could
It's
ask
like, dude,
Dano and
sorry.
Jesse, and I belong to a group text with like Otis and Damon and Tim and Jeff from Smith's Gold, Bedrock Bennett, and all these guys from California. But it gets to a point where it's so mass, I read so much, and then I'm like, well, if I
What
say
do I
anything
say?
now,
Yeah.
so I don't even, it's kind of like lurk mode.
That's
But,
all right.
I'll do that too, because at work, I have my work phone on me and not my personal phone.
Yeah.
And then I forget to look at it and, oh, there's a message from Jesse or Dano or whoever that's a day or two old. Oops. Yeah, I definitely hear you there, brother.
It happens. But we're friends, so it's not like we're gonna hold it against each other. We all are busy. Sometimes I'll take a nudging though. Remind me, and I'll call myself a jerk. Sorry. Whoops.
Lord Shadow, am I a vet? No, but many of my friends were. I was young during a peaceful time in the world, and I was told by someone I care about very dearly, don't join the service unless you have to. Sometimes I think I should have. It would have been better for me in the long run. But if they're on my front door attacking my soil, I don't care how old I am, I'm going to be locked and loaded and they're on the front line. I will not join the service to go fight wars in distant lands where, one, we weren't invited to, or we're doing someone else's agenda. I will not go fight for the papacy or the banks or politicians for their own agendas. But if it's to protect my family, my country, I'm on the front line, locked and loaded. And no, I'm not in the Pacific Northwest anymore, but that's where I claim home, Skagit Valley. I live in Northwest Ohio now.
They're talking about the quartzite. Flash in Your Pan asked about the quartzite gem show, and I don't know if I'm going to go to that or not. I did miss the one down here in Mesa. They had over the last weekend. They had a gem and mineral show, the flag show, and I try to go to that every year. It's a lot of fun, and you can get some really good specimens, super cheap depending on the booth. There's also some really overpriced, crazy expensive rocks too. But yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go to quartzite or not. It looks like a few people like Rocky Mountain Prospector, maybe Fancy Nancy, they may be going. It looks like so. And Mr. Lodak is trying to steer us back in the right direction, apparently.
Right,
Something about
right.
a sticker huck. Well, you forgot about the pater hucks that we also have.
Yeah, we have a couple of giveaways, and we're not to the 2-hour mark yet, but we're getting in there. Yeah, and we've gone off left field many times, brother. But
hey, it happens. It happens.
right, it happens. But want to do one of them right now?
Sure.
I do a thing that was a Lord Shadow. I do a thing that was a brainchild of one of my prospecting buddies was my co-host for many years and been on many adventures with us. Toledo Jess. He's a Vietnam vet. I do support my vets 100%. Jack Frank, who was in the room, might still be in the room, is a vet. I support him, his son, anyone who's a vet, I'm behind him 100%. But we do have a thing with Flash in Your Pan, Take a Vet Prospecting Project, where we'll take them to the stream. We'll handle equipment, everything, food, everything on us for a day, a weekend, and I guarantee they'll go home with gold. Guarantee it. Hey, Smith Gold, good to see you, Jeffrey. And I see my sister of another mother in here, the better half of Robert DePatti, another dredge monster friend of mine. Heath, good to see you, Mrs. DePatti. All right. Well, I'll share the screen and we can give away some of that stuff.
Let's do it.
Now, can I get in on it, Mike?
Yeah, anyone. I mean, if my name gets pulled, don't obviously don't give it to me. I'm not really talking in chat, but yeah, anyone can get in on this worldwide. I can send this out. I got 2 of those.
Brian, you're disqualified right off the bat.
I'm gonna do a spinning break while you guys are getting those names in. I'll be right back.
All right. We'll be here, Mike. Well, yeah, I try and keep bullet points for the show, but know what, everybody? The only bullet point I got into was number 1, and that was like, welcome back, Mike. I want to thank Mike for donating 2 of his small bags for tonight's giveaway. And don't let me forget to do the end of stream sticker pack, because I am getting up there. So I am kind of, I do have my blonde moments. So I do forget once in a blue moon. But now that you're back, Mike, Let me take a real quick spinny break.
Get
You
after it.
know me, I like my coffee.
Get after it.
So I'll be right back myself, and then we'll give away the first one.
Sweet. Yeah, if you
Uh,
haven't already, make sure you type in chat Vendetta. We're going to do 2 bags, a little over a third of a gram. Each one of these of gold. And I forgot to mention, I'll send out a couple stickers with each one too. So you have those. Lodak, if you need stickers from me, I can send you some as well. I saw earlier you typed in chat that you didn't see anyone over there. Or you see any stickers over there. So hit me up. If your name does get drawn for one of these 2 bags, please just go ahead. Even if I know your information, just email me. It's vendettaprospecting@gmail.com. Just email me your shipping information and basically claiming these, and I will get those out to you tonight or tomorrow or something like that. Sooner than later. They're ready to go. I just need to ship them. So. And it's been really cool seeing everyone here in chat tonight. There's a lot of names I haven't seen very often, or just very familiar ones.
Mike, I about pulled down one of my screens. I have 2 layers of screens behind me. I have a black one behind the green screen, and I almost,
what are those screens?
I almost pulled it down with my foot because the black one touches the ground where my green one don't. And if I don't, yeah, right. But at least I just had my face, my cartoony face showing, and not
the back
the set.
screen. Yeah.
So, but if so, you would have saw me going, "Oh, damn it, shoot!" Because if I don't have the black one back there, you see a light bleeding through from back here. Because I have my overhead and then my key lights, and this overhead is connected to the rest of the lower level.
You're trying to bring down the whole studio.
Yeah, geez. Was trying to reveal the Wizard of Oz, right, Bill?
That's right.
What's in my coffee cup tonight, Mr. Lodak? Coffee.
Extra coffee.
Home ground coffee.
I saw, speaking of, backyard gold, I saw just today, I'm not familiar. I don't know if you've had them on or not, but I think they'd be a great guest for your show. Mine operator, Chad, he's like the head guy over there. They were on a Freddy Dodge mine rescue. I knew that I had overheard that they were going to be on that, but I saw it on Discovery Channel this morning on like a 10-minute video as a short edition. But yeah, mine operator, check him out. Chad is over there. I've got his number and text him several times. We've tried to make a meetup together, but we haven't been able to yet. But really good team, really good guy. And they were on Freddy Dodge Mine Rescue for Hard Rock stuff. So I saw them this morning. I thought that was really cool. And I think they'd be a great guest, like I said, on your show.
Yeah, I'm always up for new guests and stuff, Mike. You know that.
Yeah.
We have 34 in there out of 41. Come
Have
on.
a good night, Miss Gold.
See you later, Jeff. Keep up the good work. Square nails and boot tacks do matter, my friend. But get that shiny, brother. Can't wait to see you and Two Toes again. Say what, Mike?
I was going to say, if Brewers just said Jeff from Smith's Gold got some ice cream, that means he got some gold today.
He probably did,
Probably.
Him, Bedrock Bennett, I'd love to get up to Gold Mountain with them again someday. That was such an epic day. Day I'll never forget. I'll be in an old folks home forgetting everything else, but I'll be like, I remember that day I was with some other YouTubers up at Gold Mountain. Dug a crack all day and pulled out 3 nice nuggets.
Always good times. Always good times.
Oh, whenever you're out on the stream with some friends or people you've just met, it's always a good time. Always. Ready to roll it, Mike?
Send it. Full send.
Full send. You heard the man.
Good luck, everyone.
Definitely. Come on, flash in your
I
pants.
see your name flashing in there a few times, Ed.
Outdoor Wally. Yeah. Excellent.
Right. Congratulations. I'll send you some extra stickers.
Congratulations,
I know you sent me a
Wally.
lot in the past. I'll send you a nice little stack.
I'm sure you have Wally's information, right?
While you were in the bathroom, I just said if your name does get pulled, just email me with your information, just in case I don't have it. Even if you know I have it, just email me. And some of your mods put my email up in there. It's vendettaprospecting@gmail.com.
Okay. And you can also find it at his website, which has been popped periodically.
Yep. And thanks for that too. Appreciate it.
Hey, not a problem. No, he left? Oh, there he is.
He was here. David's trying to get some freebies here.
Oh, David Villa.
Yeah.
Right after you. Oh, our friend Californian David Villa.
Won one of these gold pieces recently on a live stream we gave away. That should be there in the next couple days, I think, David.
I still have this beautiful little treasure you gave me in honor of my 6-year anniversary show.
That's right.
That's going to be forever in my collection, Mike.
Nice.
I gave away the other stuff you gave me to give away, but I didn't give away this.
That's fine with me. I'm all about it. I hold on to a lot of trinkets people send me. Most of the time, I don't even open them just because I like having those keepsakes. So.
Right. I can be terrible with that. Ready to send it again? If you haven't got into it, do it. You have like 10 seconds to get in there if you haven't already.
Just type Vendetta in chat.
8, 6, or 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And as Mike says, send it. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, good luck, everyone. Who we got?
Heath Doty's Adventures. Email your information to vendettaprospecting@gmail.com.
Congratulations, Heath.
I know Mr. Lodak had it up there not long ago.
Right on.
Congratulations, Heath. Yeah. Outdoor Wally, great guy. Heath Doty, great guy. Even though I used to pronounce his last name wrong. Well, ain't that some beep? Yeah. Congratulations, Heath.
Yeah, just shoot me an email. Get it out to you guys. All right. That was a lot of fun. Like I was saying earlier, I really appreciate all the people who showed up from your streams and people that I've seen, because there's a lot of names I've not seen too. So it's pretty cool to, one, be invited to the show, and then two, to see people from, both of our channels hanging out too. This is good times.
I agree. And then it was super sweet of our friend Dylan to
Rate us.
have a raid. Thank you, Dylan. I really like Dylan and Miller Prospecting. It's a great pay dirt review channel. My address works.
That's funny.
Yeah, bags coming to New York, Keith. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, I do have a sticker pack giveaway to do. I don't want to forget about that. And you have a discontinued Vendetta prospecting sticker in here too.
It's the same as the clock back there. Yeah, I don't have that one anymore. I don't make that sticker.
That's a collector's item in this world here. But let me share that so you guys can get in on that. And just put in the room as you see it. It's not case sensitive, but it do have to be
spelled correctly.
The space between it and spelled correctly. So, both syllables, sticker pack, just like Mr. Lodak and Gail and Wally and Mandy's and Weezen and Bent Fork and Ohio and Careless and Benzo. Yeah, keep them coming, friends.
There you go.
Keep them coming.
This is one of the things I was talking to you about earlier about that's a nice feature for StreamYard, is this tool.
Yeah, that's true, because if I was doing it like I normally would with OBS and running it through OBS, I'd have to do it some other means with Nightbot or something else. Where with Nightbot, you just get a name and some stuff, where at least this you could see it rolling through and
being actively collecting names. Yeah.
26, that's just a little over half. Come on, people. You never know what other stickers I might throw in here, too.
That's right.
I just try and keep it under an ounce so they don't jack up the cost on me. Hey! Curmudgeon. I know I butchered that too. You do only have to do it once, so StreamYards will get it. Also, I'm sure StreamYard or Nightbot will drop the link to the CD for Melissa Gales. I believe weren't her and Mike at Freedom Fest the year you were there?
I don't think so.
With HT Shovelhead and
HT Shovelhead was, but I don't think they were there. Because I don't think I've met them.
Well, she's in a wheelchair like Gemstone Judy is.
Yeah.
And they might have been at Terry's birthday, because Terry, Scott Sharp, and my birthday are 10 days apart. Mine's on the 18th of September, and Grease Monkeys and Scott Sharp's is on the 8th.
Okay.
They might have been there for that, but I thought they might have been. I don't know. But Eminem Prospecting, Melissa Browning Gale. This is her stage name, Melissa Gale. She's a very talented singer. Ass Banshee Mining. Nightbot's been dropping some links to access her CD. She's got it made. She's doing the promotions. She's doing everything for it. Oops. And it's even autographed right
Nice.
there. And Melissa and Mike, Eminem Prospecting, are very good friends of mine and Flash in Your Pants. I've seen them many times along the river. They've came to a couple of my Flash bashes. Great people. And that reminds me, Mike, if and when you're ever back in this part of the country, definitely shoot me a text, brother.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. I'd like to say I'm going out to the Carolinas this year, but I just don't know. I can't tell you what next month really brings for me. Sometimes it's a last minute trip, but sometimes it's something like Freedom Fest where we all get together. But try to make it out to as much as I can. They're saying that Mike and Melissa were at the #2 Freedom Fest as well. Cat's saying,
Okay.
and I didn't get to make it to that.
You didn't get to that one.
Yeah, my VP at the shop was having knee surgery, so I wasn't able to.
Yeah, you did win some Vendetta pay dirt at Flash Bash. That's right. And I just mailed out a bunch of stuff not long. You know how our postal service can be. And I don't believe it's in the next batch, Heather, but I can make up another one for Robert. You know, he is my buddy, and since I sold my dredge to Ron F., Bobby lets me get behind the nozzle of his 4-inch, so
Nice.
I need to get another dredge. It's just the older I get, the harder it is to move around a big dredge, but I want another 4-inch. I want another 4-inch. I do have one of your stickers, Careless, and I do have one of Aaron's, but I don't have many. You'll have to send me some more. But I'll throw in Gold is Where You Find It sticker and a Careless Whisper sticker in with this pack. So, hey, Mentally Corrupt, good to see you. So, Vendetta, there's the message to you, Mike.
I was
from
reading that,
Andy.
looking at where it was. That's an Ohio River, right?
It's the Scioto. It's not far from. It is a tributary to the Ohio River. It's about mid-state, just south of Columbus, a ways. But like, say, here's the Ohio River and here's the Scioto. Lucasville and the Briggs leases not far from the Ohio River. I have yet to get there. I want to get there badly. So, but I'll be there this coming spring. More to be announced later.
Nice. Nice.
But you're always welcome here, and I'll make sure we get you on someplace that has some gold. But ready?
Yeah.
Are you
let's do it.
ready, everybody? Good luck, everybody. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, I forgot to enter. Dang it. I could have gotten this
Oh,
one.
well, you
No,
could
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's fine.
have. Mr.
Mr. Lodak.
Lodak. Mr. Lodak has one going to him already,
There you go.
I believe. I believe.
He left. Mr. Lodak left.
Yeah. He left.
He left.
Coming from his
Mr.
own
Lodak's not
mouth.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Lodak has one right here that I need to ship out to him. So I'm going to roll it again, brother, if you don't mind.
No, go for it. It's your show.
Get in
All
on
about
it, Mike.
Last
Get in on
my
it.
last live show, I announced the wrong name of a winner at the end. It was for the live show Huck, and it was really embarrassing, but it was funny at the same time. I was dying laughing. I think that's what you're supposed to say. Sticker
From
pack, right?
Jasper, Ohio to Lucasville. That's a nice stretch of river, too. So, all right. Lodak.
Send it.
Send it.
Who's got the rigging now? Oh,
American Gold
Gold
Prospectors, the world famous Brian Wilder. Hi, Loretta. How are you? Good to see you.
That's awesome.
Rigged and banned.
Congrats.
Brian, I'm sure I have your address, but will you message it to me? Either text it or Facebook it, and I'll get those out to you for you, sir. Congratulations, my friend.
I need stickers for my toolbox. There you go.
American Gold Prospector. He has something in the works up in Maine I'd like to go play at.
He's been having some fun up there in the rivers too. I've been watching. Finding some gold.
That guy is a hard working miner, let me tell you. And he produces some great stuff. Oh, wow. And we are into overtime, and I didn't touch base on nothing of while you were doing your spinny break. I was telling everybody, I had some bullet points, and the only one I got to was the first one. Welcome back, Mike. And it's kind of took several left turns and here and there. And but it was super great hanging out with you, Mike.
Absolutely.
And it was awesome meeting you a couple years ago on the river when you were there with Carson and hanging out with A3 and
It was a good
Indiana
trip.
Creek Gold.
A real good trip.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you. I'm glad you stayed awake for this whole show. And hopefully I'll be working with you before too long. Jack's a superintendent with the company I work with. He's a great guy to work with. He's very fair, and he deserves everything he gets. Not enough, though. He don't get enough.
Sure.
And that's right, Victor. You're living up in Oregon now, not California,
That is
near the
gold country.
Rogue River. Ooh, very good gold country. I've actually dredged the Rogue River many decades ago. Everyone, next week we are. Let me get to the right place on my schedule. I'm having this gentleman join me from. He does prospect, but he's the creator and the owner of the Gold app. And I'll be having him on next week's Tuesday night Hangout Live.
Interesting.
So we'll see how that goes. I believe he's in the States. He could be in Africa for all I know.
Sure. Yeah.
But thank you, Gail. Thank you. But the 21st, you might know these guys. You know Colin and Connor, don't you?
I'm not sure. They have a channel.
TDF Road to Gold.
Oh, okay. I've seen their channel. I don't personally know them. I've never like hung out with them or anything like that, but I've seen their channel.
Do you know Willie Shiny Gold?
I've talked to him a few times. Yeah. We've never gone out together or anything like that either, but we've talked.
You should collaborate a little.
I think we've talked. I've done one video collaboration with Wheelie Shiny Gold like a year and a half ago or something like that. Did I refine some gold that he found in rocks, but never out and about.
Looks like there's going to be an after stream party hosted by Mr. Lodak at Gold Prospectors Space.com. It's absolutely free to join. And remember, there's gold show and treasure hunt and watch shows pretty much every Friday night and other nights during the week, where sometimes you run across real celebrities from the shows you watch on Discovery and stuff. So, and Mr. Lodak just dropped a link, and they're all very good friends of Flash in Your Pan, and the whole YouTube community. They have a page dedicated to YouTube channels where you could put your channel up. They have no problems about posting videos and whatnot. So
Nice.
they're a great community. David Villa's part of it. So many great people there, along with Brian Wilder and more. Yeah, we have the Gold app guy next week, and the 21st is TDF Road to Gold, Colin and Connor. Then the last Tuesday of the month is Open Line Tuesday, where we'll be giving another Adventure Sleuth giveaway by our friends over at prospectorsdream.com.
Nice. That's awesome.
So until then, you know what I'm going to say, right? Because I say it every single week. May you always have a flash in your pan. And maybe one day, too, we'll meet you on the river. Because ask Mike, it does happen. It does happen.
Absolutely.
Even ask Aqua, or Aqua Donkey Prospecting, or Ohio Relic Hunter, or MJ Only Pans. It does happen. So until next time, Love you all.
Have a good evening, everyone.
And
Good
you
to
know
see
what?
you.
I think this time, Mike and I, we're out of here.
Tuesday night Hangout Live. We've had our fun. The battery was strong, the night's been won. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you soon. Tuesday night Hangout Live is for all of you. Flash fan forever. We'll keep the vibe. Catch us next time. Let's keep
Night
it
comes
live.
real close. We're feeling great. Flash fam is together. Whenever it feels just right. The wonderful guests, good times, and so much fun. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will turn very soon. Thank you for joining us. It's been a fantastic time. Camaraderie is strong, and we're built to last. Till next time, we look forward to seeing you again. Tuesday Night Hangout Live will be back soon. Give us a like. Don't say goodbye. Just see you later. Flash fam forever. Until we meet again.